headstrong. Touchdown, when I touchdown, better touchdown, I game on. Let's go. It's my time to shine, bright lights and it's lit. 10 toes down and a face full of grit. Take it to the house and we take it to the crib. Flip that in the script, red zone gone in.
Welcome, another episode, Red Zone Real Estate coming at you. Now, today, our big focus is on flipping houses. Why? Because it's a huge buzzword in the marketplace. It's where I started my career, leaving Wall Street, 5 Hanover Square with Jody and Nelson Braff, two of my favorites. I still am in touch with them today, talk to them and work with them literally almost 2 decades later. So it's a huge thing, but when I started flipping houses, I left Wall Street to go into wholesale real estate investing. A company called Wholesale Homes at the time was my favorite, my baby at that point. So we started flipping houses. A lot of the things that I learned after I flipped the houses, I wish I knew before. So all the things today, I'm gonna tell you because they don't tell you this out there, and I want you guys to know it, making the right choices in your next flip, all right? Biggest thing, let's go through 5 biggest mistakes I made before flipping a property. Number 1, holding costs. Think about this. When you buy a property to flip it, you have to actually endure the cost of the hold from buying to then demolishing, renovating, getting all the permits, and then the CO to sell the property. Those holding costs add up. Bruce, what are the holding costs? Why are you telling me this? Because taxes in Bergen County, forget about it. Taxes is one of the biggest item lists that you need on that holding cost. Why? What if your taxes are $20,000 a year? What if your taxes are $40,000? What if they're $10,000? It adds up. So taxes and insurance is number 2. Insurance is going to be huge. Why? You need to know how much the insurance premium is for that year. Chances are when you're renovating a property, you're going to have to pay that premium up front for the year. Well, what if I sell it in under a year? Well, then you get prorated returns back. So whatever amount you spent minus whatever time period is per day, that's what you get back. Okay, it's a prorated form. Now, here's the other thing. I see people flipping condos. Holy crap, what a risk. Now, you could still make money, but here's the deal. You've got HOA fees on top of that. So if your HOA fees, your taxes, and your insurance are literally eating away at profits, probably not doing a good job. So go into it, understand taxes, insurance, HOA fees, maintenance fees. If you don't understand these figures, you're literally running into a brick wall right from the gate on your renovation.
Touchdown, better touchdown, I game on. Let's go. It's my time to shine, bright lights and it's
Number 2, make sure permits and inspections. The town has to come and inspect what work you're doing. I see so many people, and I can't believe this actually exists, where they do all of these renovations and then don't apply for permits and don't get the town to do a CO. Do you understand what's going to happen when you have to go get a CO? You backtrack. All the permits, all the fees have to get accomplished. So now you're on the hook for that, plus the actual penalties that come with this. So not filing your permits or your inspections properly costs you more money, 2 times as much money in the long run if you don't do it right. Here's the deal with that. Now you do that wrong, you backtrack, now you have holding costs attributed with that, and your length of time, that extra 1, 2, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, I've seen years. It takes away all your profit, and maybe you lose your sleeve. Are you looking at losing your sleeve because you made some silly decisions right out the gate on not getting permits or filing this properly? Please tell me that you're not doing that as a number 2 biggest mistake that I've made.
10 toes down and a face full of grit. Take it to the house and we take it to the crib. Flip that in the script, red zone gone in.
Number 3 is the unexpected environmental. Unexpected environmental. What do I mean by unexpected environmental? It's going to be the oil tank sweep. It's going to be the random anomaly on the property site that you didn't know about. Or it's going to be the property was an old gas station years ago that was turned over. But because 20, 30, 50 years go by, you don't know that, and you didn't do any testing. What do you think is going to happen when a buyer comes and purchases that property? They're going to do the testing. You're going to be out of luck at that time. Make sure you do that beforehand. Understand your environmental on the property before. Make sure the oil tank sweep is clean. Make sure the phase 1, there's no further action. Huge, huge item on number 3 for hidden costs of flipping properties.
Gotta keep fighting like a savage, average. Never I'm above that lavish passion. When I meet prep, all happens. All great things come to those that have.
Selling. Doesn't everybody know that when you buy a property, you eventually are going to sell it? Why do they not account for the selling costs accurately? In our marketplace, if you have a commission of roughly 5% that's going to go to a buyer and seller agent, you also have costs on top of it to sell the property. A realty transfer fee is one of the biggest items that people don't account for. Make sure that you account on the sale, the commission. Try to negotiate. Most new constructions, renovated properties can get away with a 4% fee. Why? They're easier sales, so you don't have as much work to do with it. Not to mention, a lot of the marketing comes built in because the developer has architectural plans. They have photos. Their pride of ownership's there. They oftentimes will give you the marketing. You brush it up, make sure that it's polished, and then put it out there. Those selling costs are going to be a 5% fee. Negotiate better, good for you. And then on top of that, I always allocate 1 to 2% on top. So 6 to 7% of the sale cost. What does that mean? It means that if I'm selling it for $1 million, I'm going to account for an additional percentage. Okay, that's going to be anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 on top of that. So make it relative. If you have a $500,000 house, maybe it's 25 to 35 or 50. But account for that because your selling costs are going to be a line item that's going to be huge. So make sure that you understand where those percentages are. Now, loop into number 1 of the hidden with holding costs also includes and goes together with our finance costs. Why? Because as you hold, you have finance. If you're taking on debt for the property, maybe it's a literal term sheet of 100% debt to value, and all of a sudden you're going to refinance, sell it, make the profits, and return it. That's fine. Or maybe you're putting a traditional 20%, 25% in investment, or 50%, whatever it is your down payment. Just know that the cost that finance to acquire that property is at its highest. So when you go over lengths of time and you have selling costs and permits and fees, and then you have finance costs, you have to understand where the net number is. These hidden costs, especially on the finance end, depending on how you negotiated that structure, is going to be huge in understanding what your net value and your profit ultimately is. So today, we've talked about a lot of hidden costs with flipping properties. Let's review the 5 hidden costs that we have for flipping properties that they don't tell you. Number 1, our holding costs, taxes, insurance, maintenance, HOA fees. Number 2, our permitting costs and our inspections on the renovations themselves. Number 3, our unexpected environmental costs, tank sweeps. Maybe there's a leak and you need to remedy. Maybe there's a phase 1 that says further action. Selling costs, number 4, are huge. Understand, what is your selling cost? Am I hiring a broker? What are the fees for the realty transfer? What additional fees am I supposed to have on this net sheet to understand where my profits are? And 5, your finance costs. One of the biggest ones that you should know right out the gate. Know your finance costs and you'll know your project as well. 5 hidden ideas that you must untap in terms of flipping properties. Those are your 5 hidden costs for flipping properties. Make sure you implement them today.